Have you ever looked closely at your palm and noticed a small cross hiding between the lines? Maybe it looks like two tiny lines crossing each other. Maybe it's deep and clearly visible, or you've never noticed it before. But what if that little cross has a deeper meaning in palmistry, the mystic cross? Are you aware that this mysterious mark alone is fully associated with people that are fully connected to unseen forces, invisible beings, that are standing at the border between the physical world and the spiritual realm? And now listen. Unlike the major lines of the palm, this mysterious marking can be quite subtle. Some people believe it is connected with intuition, spiritual sensitivity, protection, and a natural attraction toward the mysteries of life. But here's where things become even more interesting. Not every cross on the palm is considered a mystic cross. Its position matters, its shape matters, and the lines surrounding it can completely change how palmists interpret it. So in today's video, we're going to uncover 7 mysterious meanings associated with the mystic cross. Stay until the 7th, because it is one of the most fascinating interpretations associated with this unusual marking. But before we begin, look at your palm. Do you have a cross hiding somewhere on your palm? If you do, don't leave yet. Type yes in the comments below, because the location of that cross could be more important than you think, because there are many more mysterious signs we're going to explore together. Now, let's begin. What exactly is the mystic cross? Before we talk about the 7 meanings, we need to understand what it really means by the term mystic cross. A mystic cross is generally described in palmistry as a cross-shaped marking formed by intersecting lines associated with the area between the heart line and head line, particularly around the central palm. This area is sometimes called the quadrangle, and this is important because seeing any random cross somewhere on your palm doesn't automatically mean you have the classic mystic cross. Number 1. Spiritual curiosity. Have you ever felt naturally drawn toward questions that other people don't seem interested in? Questions like, why are we here? What happens after death? Is there more to reality than what we can see? Why do certain events happen at certain moments? Why do some dreams feel incredibly meaningful? Now listen. People associated with the mystic cross may have a strong interest in subjects involving spirituality, philosophy, symbolism, hidden knowledge, and the unknown. They may not necessarily belong to a particular spiritual tradition. Instead, they may simply have an intense desire to understand what lies beneath the surface of life. And there's something important here. Spiritual curiosity doesn't necessarily mean someone is spiritually gifted. It can simply mean that a person naturally asks deeper questions. You may be the type of person who doesn't easily accept. That's just how things are. You want to know why. You want to investigate. You want to understand. And sometimes, that curiosity can take you into subjects such as dreams, meditation, ancient traditions, symbolism, palmistry, astrology, or religious studies. So if you have a clearly formed mystic cross, this is one possible indication of a person who is naturally fascinated by life's deeper mysteries. But that's only the beginning, because the second meaning goes even deeper. Strong intuition. You may have heard someone say, I don't know how I knew. I just knew. That's intuition. It's that feeling that something isn't quite right, or the sudden sense that you should call someone, or the feeling that you should avoid a particular situation. This associates the mystic cross with heightened intuitive awareness. But let's be careful about what this means. It doesn't mean that having a mystic cross gives someone supernatural powers. Rather, palmistry symbolism suggests that such a person may be highly observant and sensitive to subtle information. They might notice a person's tone, a change in someone's behavior, a strange atmosphere, a contradiction between someone's words and actions, things that other people overlook. And because they notice these subtle signals, they may sometimes feel as though they just knew. Interestingly, intuition can also come from experience. Your brain constantly processes information, even when you're not consciously analyzing it. So what feels mysterious may sometimes be your mind recognizing patterns before you consciously understand them. And that brings us to something even more fascinating. Because if intuition is one side of the mystic cross, the third meaning is about protection and awareness. Number 3. A symbolic sense of protection. In various palmistry traditions, The cross has sometimes been viewed as a significant symbolic marking, a well-formed mystic cross, as suggesting that a person possesses a strong internal sense of caution or awareness. Think about the person who walks into a room and immediately senses tension. Everyone else is laughing, but something feels wrong to them. Or someone offers them an opportunity that looks perfect on the surface. Yet something inside them says, "Be careful." This is protective instinct. Again, this doesn't mean the marking creates a supernatural shield around someone. Instead, think of it symbolically. A person who is observant, cautious, and intuitive may naturally avoid certain situations before problems develop, and that can feel like protection. There's another interesting interpretation. Some spiritual traditions view crosses as symbols of protection and faith. Therefore, when a cross-like marking appears on the palm, some spiritual palmists give it additional symbolic significance. Now let's move to the fourth meaning. And this one is particularly interesting for people who have always felt different from those around them. Number 4. Feeling different or unique. Have you ever felt like you don't completely fit into the crowd? You can be surrounded by people and still feel different. Maybe your interests are unusual. Maybe you think deeply about things other people don't care about. Maybe you question traditions. Maybe you don't easily follow the crowd. The mystic cross can symbolize an individual who feels strongly connected to their own beliefs and inner world. They may not always be comfortable simply doing what everyone else is doing, and this can have both positive and negative sides. The positive side: you may develop independent thinking. You may explore ideas others ignore. You may become deeply knowledgeable about subjects that genuinely interest you. But the negative side: you may sometimes feel misunderstood. You might struggle to explain your thoughts to people who don't see the world the way you do. And sometimes, that feeling of being different can become loneliness. So if you identify with this interpretation, don't assume that being different means you're destined for some supernatural purpose. Sometimes being different simply means you're different, and that's okay. But the fifth meaning takes us into another fascinating area: the search for hidden knowledge. Number 5. Attraction to hidden knowledge. This is where the mystic cross becomes particularly fascinating. It's sometimes associated with people who enjoy investigating things beneath the surface. These people may love ancient history, spiritual traditions, religious symbolism, dream interpretation, mysteries, philosophy, the supernatural, psychology, or even unexplained phenomena. They don't necessarily believe everything they hear. In fact, they may be the opposite. They may investigate. They may ask questions. They may compare different explanations. They want to know what's really going on. And this is an important distinction. Being interested in spiritual subjects doesn't mean you should believe every spiritual claim you encounter. A curious mind should also be a discerning mind. And now we arrive at meaning number 6. Number 6. Resilience during difficult times. Life doesn't always go according to plan. There are moments when everything seems to collapse. A relationship ends. A dream fails. Money becomes difficult. An opportunity disappears. You feel lost. And somehow, you continue. This is sometimes associated with experiences of transformation, challenges, or important turning points. Some palmists interpret the mystic cross symbolically as representing someone who develops strength through difficult experiences. Not because the cross magically prevents suffering, but because difficult experiences can shape people. You may have noticed something about yourself. The things that once destroyed your confidence don't affect you the same way anymore. Why? Because you've learned, you've experienced, you've survived. And sometimes, the greatest transformation doesn't happen when life is easy. It happens when life forces you to become stronger. So when you look at a mystic cross, don't only ask, "What power does this sign give me?" Ask a deeper question. What have my experiences taught me? Because the real mystery isn't always what's written on your palm. Sometimes the mystery is what you've survived. And now, we're coming to the 7th and final meaning. Number 7. A deep connection with the mysteries of life. The 7th meaning is perhaps the most fascinating. The mystic cross is most times connected to deep interest in life's mysteries. Not necessarily supernatural power. Not necessarily prophecy, but a deep desire to understand existence. You may find yourself constantly asking questions about life, death, purpose, destiny, faith, consciousness, the human mind. and the unseen aspects of existence. You may spend hours thinking about questions that don't have easy answers, and perhaps that's why the Mystic Cross has developed such a mysterious reputation. Because the cross itself is simple. Two lines intersect, that's all. But humans have always searched for meaning in symbols, and palmistry is one of the traditions that attempts to interpret those symbols. So the most beautiful interpretation of the Mystic Cross isn't that it gives you some extraordinary supernatural ability. Perhaps it's simply this. It represents the human desire to look beyond the obvious, to ask questions, to search, to explore, to understand, and to remain curious about the mysteries of existence. Hear this. Before we conclude, there's something you should remember. Not every cross-shaped mark on your palm is necessarily considered the Mystic Cross. Your palm contains many intersecting lines. Some crosses may be caused simply by the natural meeting of different lines. The traditional Mystic Cross is usually identified based on its location, formation, and relationship with the major lines. So don't panic if you find a cross. And don't assume you're spiritually gifted simply because you see one. Let's quickly remember the 7 traditional meanings we've explored. Number 1. Spiritual curiosity. Number 2. Strong intuition. Number 3. A symbolic sense of protection. Number 4. Feeling different or highly individual. Number 5. Attraction toward hidden knowledge and mysteries. Number 6. Resilience through difficult experiences. And number 7. A deep connection with the mysteries of life. Now, type, "I have the Mystic Cross," in the comments below. And if you checked both palms and you don't see one, simply write, "I don't have it." I'm genuinely curious to see how many people watching this video have noticed this marking. And remember, your palm may contain many interesting patterns, but those patterns don't define your destiny. Your decisions, your character, your actions, and the way you live your life matter far more. If you enjoyed this journey into the mystery of the Mystic Cross, your palm may tell a story, but the real question is, are you ready to discover it? Spiritual Empire Palmistry, where every line has a mystery. Share this video to someone